Welcome back to the Customer Discover Cast. This is your host, Ethan. I'm here with Dom, who's the founder and CEO of Unicorn, which is the largest rural incubator and accelerator in Southwest France. Dom, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ethan. Pleasure being here.
Absolutely, man. It's very exciting to meet someone like you because you are essentially living my dream. Years from now, this is what I would hope to be doing.
Well, let's live it together. Let's figure out how to live
Absolutely.
it together.
Absolutely, man. Tell everybody who doesn't know you out there, tell them a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. Well, I was born and raised in France. I did spend roughly a quarter century in the US, in particular in Los Angeles. Half French, half German. So I'm officially Alsatian from the northeast of France. About 2.5 years ago, decided to leave sunny California versus going there like most people intend to do and come back to France. Didn't intend to retire, probably could have, but instead, since I'm rather hyperactive, I decided to open the very first incubator accelerator in this part of France. We are in the rural area in the department of the Dordogne in a town called Sarlat. That's Sarlat, for those of you who want to look it up. It's a medieval town where many movies were filmed, including Joan of Arc, obviously clearly a medieval movie. And when they
Absolutely.
did film that movie, all they did in town is take the cars out. Everything else stayed the same. So you'll see it on Google Images when you look it up. Beautiful town.
Really?
Roughly 9,000 people during the year, but 3 million tourists a year. It's the seventh most visited town in France. But as COVID indicated us, right, has shown us, if you rely only, if you're one trick pony, you only rely on tourism to make it work. And then from one day to another, there is no more tourism. You can imagine what can happen. And
Absolutely.
we are
Especially
very
at a time
much,
like this.
yeah, we're very much experiencing that right now. So the pain is being felt by all of the restaurants, all of which are closed, have been closed for months, and will be closed for at least another month. All of the bars are closed. Some of the hotels, or if not all of the hotels, are closed. So they're really, really feeling the pinch. So before COVID, we told the mayor, the local elects, et cetera, that we wanted to help diversify the economy and really bring a strong dimension of digital into the space. To certain of them, we had to explain what that meant. I think that 2 years later, they really understand it now because they see a very strong dynamic of growth. While other companies are shutting down or downsizing, we are growing exponentially. We've also become a significant attraction pole for both startup entrepreneurs and angel investors because we've created an ecosystem that relies on both. Clearly, very much like an Uber or an Airbnb platform, you need to have a perfect balance in our case between supply and demand. The supply is the supply of capital. The demand is the demand that comes as a result of startups moving here and wanting to work with us that need capital to develop themselves. In that same line of thinking, we're in the process of working on a mega event in October 1, 2, 3, the Startup Super Cup. The idea of that World Cup for startups, for lack of a better term, is to bring together both startup entrepreneurs and the capital. So we'll have roughly between 1,000 and 1,200 people, 12,000 investors, angel investors and funds, and 100 startuppers and 100 people from the media, all of which will spend a 3-day weekend, 1, 2, 3 of October, together with keynote speeches, with roundtables, with exhibit spaces. Obviously, we're in the south of France. You're going to get quite a bit of wine and foie gras and whatever else comes with it. So
Both
if
sides
I
of
need to
business.
twist your arm, to actually come pay us a visit, that's probably a decent way of doing it.
Absolutely.
But we do believe that we are in the perfect ecosystem in which you can thrive. And what I mean by that is that, look, I spent the quarter of century in Los Angeles. Look, if I want to do 15 kilometers or 15 miles in Los Angeles, if I get up at 4:45 in the morning, I'll do them in 10 minutes. If I get up an hour and a half later, it takes me 3 hours, right? So if that's the best we can do, as developed as we are today, then I'm sorry to say, it's probably not working out really well, right?
Yeah, a
If I
little
have
bit of
to
a
wake
working
up in the morning,
vacation,
I see, yeah, if I have to wake up in the morning, I see a big cloud of smoke in front of me and I breathe that in. That's not how I want to live the rest of my life, right? Et
exactly.
cetera, et cetera. You can go down the list. For another example, for young startups who listen to us, or for angel investors who invest in the startups, is if I have the choice between, let's say I'm an investor, which I am, if I want to back a promising startup and they're in London, New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Tokyo, Hong Kong, out of all places, you know, equal things considered, all things considered, would I rather back that same startup if their monthly rent bill is $50,000 or if it's $1,000? That's actually the
Absolutely.
ratio we're talking about between a place like Hong Kong and Salah, France, right? And our place is going to be nicer, right? You're going to be
Absolutely.
living and working out of a medieval building, looking out the window onto the Dordogne River, where you're going to be kayaking in the afternoon, right? So it's primarily driven by a lifestyle choice, I'd say. And again, we did this move way before COVID. And what COVID has done is it's clearly accelerated the path of awakening startups, founders, and investors saying there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay. And we truly believe today that we are not the only one, but certainly one of these better ways to live and to thrive.
Absolutely. Man, very well said. You really highlighted not only on kind of the core purpose of your business